Hey everyone, Beon here. Welcome to a new interview on this channel. Today, we'll be interviewing the creator of the Skibidi Afterwar series and the person who analyzes Skibidi Toilet, Iron Cameraman. We'll talk about his series, whether he plans to do more analysis on the channel, and much more. But before we start, give us a thumbs up and subscribe so the next interview will appear sooner. And let's get started. What inspired you to do analyses on YouTube?
One of Fordel's videos randomly popped up in my recommendations. He was already making videos about Skibidi Toilet at the time, and after watching a couple of them, I got interested in the series and decided to look into it myself.
How did the idea for Iron Cameraman and Vayner come about?
The Iron Cameraman channel was basically a natural continuation of my Russian channel, Armhov. I just decided to start translating my own videos into English. As for Vayner, that came from the inspiration I got from Dafuk Boom. I wanted to create a project that could motivate other people to get into creative work, just like his work once motivated me. One of my biggest dreams is also to build a company that genuinely helps indie projects grow instead of limiting them, which is unfortunately what we're seeing with some companies in the media industry right now.
How did you come up with the idea for the Skibidi Afterwar series?
I was always really interested in what life would look like after the war. What would the Alliance do once it was over? How would the war even end? To be honest though, I was much more focused on what would happen afterward than on how the war itself would end. That's also why I'm not completely happy with the prologue. I see it more as a stepping stone toward the actual series. Unfortunately, the series itself never came out, and realistically, it probably never will. But there were still a lot of interesting ideas, concepts, and original characters behind it. There was also a piece of technology that played a major role in the story, and I think that concept had a lot of potential and could have been explored in many different ways. I still like that idea so much that I may reuse it somehow in one of my future projects, just not an Afterwar. I might even make a video explaining everything I had planned. Even though Afterwar never properly came out, I'm still really proud of the story and the foundation I created for it. In my opinion, it was much stronger than the prologue itself, so I don't think people should judge Afterwar based only on the prologue. The prologue was something I made when I was still inexperienced. I'm not an animator myself, and at the time, I also didn't really know how to work with animators properly. Making the prologue actually taught me a lot about how to communicate with animators and how to give them clear and detailed instructions. That's why I hope my future projects will be better. Right now, we're learning how to animate on our own so that we don't have to depend so heavily on other animators. The next projects may look worse than the Afterwar prologue at first, but the quality should gradually improve with every new project. At the moment, we're mostly gaining experience, and later on, we'll start working on more story-driven projects.
How did Titan Speakerman 3.0 lose to Duchess? Can you tell us more about why?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. I'm not completely happy with how the prologue turned out. I'm going to be completely honest. Even though it may not have been obvious, I needed Titan Speakerman to die because of what I had planned for him in the following episodes. And since the series probably won't ever come out anyway, here's a spoiler. Titan Speakerman was supposed to come back to life later, but there was going to be a plot twist behind it. The main problem was the format. When something serious and important happens on screen, but it's shown in such a short sequence, where a Titan seemingly dies in a couple of seconds, it can feel really strange, especially when people see one of the strongest characters being killed by Duchess almost instantly. If I had shown the entire scene properly, it would have made much more sense. But that was my mistake as a creator. I didn't think enough about the fact that the audience can only judge what they actually see. And what they saw was one of the strongest characters dying in just 2 seconds. That upset a lot of people, and now I completely understand why. Important moments like that need to be shown in detail. It wasn't some minor background event that could just be briefly mentioned or shown for a couple of seconds. Because the series was supposed to focus on what happened after the war, I rushed through the ending of the war itself. I tried to fit everything into as little screen time as possible so that episode 1 could come out sooner, since the production process had already dragged on for months. That's why people were left with so many questions. How did this happen? Why did it happen? What led to it? I was planning to explain all of that later in the series through additional scenes and more detailed flashbacks, but the audience didn't know that. It actually reminds me of the finale of The Amazing Digital Circus, where Jax abstracted off-screen. Even I found that strange when I watched it, and now I realize that what I did was almost the same thing. Titan Speakerman basically died off-screen. And honestly, the same problem applies to the Watchman of Doom. He was defeated off-screen as well. Of course, I was planning to show what happened to him in future episodes, but considering that there probably won't be any future episodes because of the current situation, I can understand why that also felt strange and unsatisfying to viewers. So yeah, I understand now why people weren't happy with it.
What are your thoughts on Bringboomback? What's your general reaction to what Invis is doing?
My overall reaction to what Invis is doing to Boom and his creation is mostly sadness and a loss of hope. At the same time, it affects me so deeply that even though I understand I can't change much on my own, I still try to bring attention to the situation and keep people informed. At the very least, maybe this can help protect other indie creators from going through the same thing in the future. As for my thoughts on BBB, it really depends on what exactly you mean by BBB. At this point, it has become more of a broad label that represents a huge part of the YouTube community and the fandom, so my opinion depends on which side or direction of the movement you're talking about. I support and genuinely admire everyone who helps spread information, approaches the situation critically, and brings Alexei one step closer to the day when all of this finally ends. But I don't support toxicity, people taking things too far, or other behavior that doesn't reflect what BBB is supposed to stand for. I'm also especially grateful to everyone who has personally helped write articles for the Let Boom Speak website. And a huge thank you to Sam for creating the website in the first place. It was an enormous amount of work, and I'm grateful to every single person who contributed to it.
Will there ever be analyses other than Skibidi Toilet and Alalele Alelas on your channel?
Of course, but it depends on the situation. At the moment, I'm not really considering it because I haven't found a project that I'd want to cover on a regular basis.
How long have you been in the Skibidi Toilet community?
Since episode 48 came out.
What's your favorite Skibidi Toilet episode?
70?
How many Skibidi Afterwar episodes are you plan to make?
Around 3 or 4 minutes of scenes have already been completed. However, due to some technical difficulties and other circumstances, I still haven't received the project files. The process has taken much longer than we originally expected, probably more than half a year at this point. I didn't want to keep putting pressure on the animator or constantly asking for updates, so I decided to step back and give the situation some time. Whenever the files become available, we'll see what can still be completed and released. Since I currently don't have access to the project files, the timing is unfortunately not entirely in my hands. It would be a shame to leave all the completed work unseen, especially considering the amount of time and effort that has already gone into it. At the same time, I'm not able to complete the entire project alone, and I currently don't have the energy to rebuild the team or restart the production process with new animators. Most likely, we'll eventually finish as much as we realistically can and release it as an unfinished or special project for the people who are still interested in seeing what we had planned. As for projects outside of Afterwar, we're already preparing to release something this year. Right now, we're mostly focusing on shorts, while we continue gaining experience and improving our skills. Once our animation reaches the level we're aiming for, we should be able to avoid many of the difficulties we faced with Afterwar, because this time we're producing the animation ourselves.
What do you think of the 2 Door Closer series, Human and Alila?
Compared to what Boom used to make on his own channel, it feels weaker so far. Human Being was more of a temporary side series, and Imo was never meant to be taken too seriously, even though the ending was actually pretty good. Alili, on the other hand, still has a lot of potential, so I think it's too early to judge it. We should probably wait another couple of seasons before making any final conclusions. The main thing is that the style feels a little different from what we're used to. You can tell that Boom isn't doing everything by himself anymore, and that's probably why I still have mixed feelings about it. But right now, the series is mostly still setting everything up and placing its Chekhov's guns. Once those guns finally go off, we'll see what the story is really capable of.
What will be appearing on your channel in the future?
By the time the interview comes out, I'll probably have released a video about Skibidi Toilet episode 80. But other than the next video, I honestly don't know, haha. I have a lot of unfinished drafts, but most of them never get released because I usually decide they're not important enough to turn into full videos.
As we know, there are leaks about what episode 80 will look like. What do you think about it?
It's basically just a Duchess Aura farming scene. The animation quality looks good, but there isn't much else I can say about it. To properly judge the episode, we need to wait until the full thing comes out.
Will Theory episodes return to your channel?
I really hope so.
Have you ever planned to do another interview with Dafuk Bomb if you could? Could any special characters appear in your series? Elite characters or characters like Duke or Emperor?
I'm not planning to include any elite characters, YouTubers, or anything like that. There also won't be Duke or any other characters who were hinted at, but never actually appeared in Skibidi Toilet. I don't want to add too much of my own interpretation, because I have no idea what Boom originally had planned for a character like Duke. That's why I focused on creating original characters who support my own story, rather than trying to guess what Boom wanted to show us. Of course, to some extent, I would still have to do that whether I wanted to or not, since many characters from his series were part of the project. But when it came to the new original characters, I created them completely from scratch. By the way, even planned an entirely new race, early.
If not for Skibidi Toilet, what would you be recording on YouTube? What do you think about Skibidi Emergence and Skibidi Toilet Movie? What about your channel where you analyze things other than just Skibidi Toilet?
My team and I are currently focused on Vayner and trying to improve our animation skills. I've also started doing live streams from time to time.
Would you like to do another interview with Door Closer in the future? Do you plan to do more streams about watching all the episodes of a given series?
Yeah.
If possible, would you like to interview someone from Invis who made the Skibidi Emergence?
Even if they agree, I don't think we'll be discussing the quality of Emergence, since that part is pretty obvious. We'll probably focus more on how it happened and what the production process was like.
Do you plan to do more interviews with creators like you did with Ditter Flouten?
Maybe.
How do you feel about your popularity in the Skibidi Toilet fandom?
I'm grateful for every single viewer. For me, it became a sign that I could actually work in a creative field, and it gave me confidence in myself, something I didn't really have during my first few years on YouTube.
Do you have any other plans regarding Bringboomback? Any other plans?
I don't think there's any real plan or solution to this problem right now. The company itself needs to take action for anything to change, but they've been ignoring us. We've been asking them to let Boom speak for around 3 or 4 months now, and they still haven't even commented on it. At the same time, we don't want to miss any opportunities that come our way, like what happened with Mike. So I'll keep people updated whenever chances like that appear. Of course, none of these opportunities will solve the entire problem on their own, but every small step brings us a little closer to the goal. That's why we shouldn't give up.
After the Skibidi Afterwar series, will you want to do another series or just this one?
Several series, but not Afterwar.
And that's the end of my questions. And now, a message from Iron Cameraman to you.
Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. In a way, we've already won simply by staying united. The most valuable thing we have is each other. So don't lose hope and always keep moving forward.
And that's the end of this interview. Thank you for watching, and Iron Cameraman for appearing in the interview. I invite you to my Discord server and X, which is in the channel description. And I would like to announce something to you. If this episode gets 5,000 views in 5 days, I will try to interview Door Closer. But for now, leave a like and subscription to me and Iron. See you soon. Bye.